Check, 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 check. What's good, Brew Crew? It's your boy, Julian, back at it for another On the Rocks. Let's get right to it. You know how it is here on the Rocks. We're not playing around, except for when we're playing around, which is most of the time. Alright, so today we're playing NAYA Adventures, which stems from back when there's been a bunch of different adventure decks throughout the course of Standard since Throne of Eldraine has been released. So the adventure mechanic is basically they're creatures, and then they have like this spell stapled onto them. So you can cast that, the card goes into exile, and then you can cast the creature later. Blah blah blah. You can do all that sort of stuff. So there was adventures all across the whole thing. The whole adventure deck is basically built around Innkeeper, which is whenever you cast a creature spell, you get to draw a card, a creature spell with adventure, and then also Lucky Clover, doubling, or if you have multiples out, tripling, quadrupling, whatever, your adventure cast. So now all of a sudden, your Bone Crusher Giant is hitting for 4, 6, 8. You're searching for 2, 3 different lands, whatever, when you're doing that sort of thing. The first big iteration was Green-Black Adventures with stuff like Beanstalk Giant, Lovestruck Beast, and then there's like the one knight that returns stuff from your graveyard to your hand, as well as Murderous Rider, which just kills stuff. And then the most recent, or one of the most recent versions was Teamer Adventures, which actually was basically the de facto best deck for a couple weeks. It was Bone Crusher Giant, it was Brazen Borrower, it was once again Lovestruck Beast, a little bit of Beanstalk Giant, as well as they also had access to Uro and stuff. So that was like basically the best deck, and it won like a couple tournaments for a bit, and then it went away, and now it started to come back after bannings and companion rule changes, all that stuff. So that's like the mainstream version of the deck, but obviously that's not what we're here for. We want to play something a little bit more off kilter. So we're playing Selesnya and now NAYA Adventure. So the original Selesnya list I heard about from, I believe it was the Disorganized Wizards Club podcast, which is shout out to them. They're great. DWC. Listen to them all the time. So they were talking about Selesnya list, and then I was like, well, Bonecrusher Giant is probably the best adventure card. So why don't we just include that? It's just an easy little splash. Just play some mountains, some extra duels, and that's it. Yeah. So we're playing that general core. Not all of them play Beanstalk Giant, but that's just good in this deck. Like I said, we're playing Bonecrusher Giant because it's just awesome. Playing Gilded Goose to ramp, playing Wandermare, which is what you only get to play it in the Selesnya or NAYA versions. Whenever you cast a creature spell, it gets a +1/+1. A creature spell with adventure gets +1/+1. Fairy Guide Mother as some early game or just to punch through. Giant Killer as removal, and also once again to just get through. And then March of the Multitudes is just good because sometimes you just need to go wide and do your thing. So that's pretty much the deck. Pretty simple. We're gonna hop into some games. So basically this whole deck you want to play Innkeeper turn 1, Clover turn 2, and then anything, really. Um, that's like the ideal play pattern, but sometimes obviously you play like, you know, Lovestruck Beast thing turn 1. Alright, so this is a bad hand because we don't really want to be drawing all these mountains. So we're not going to do that. Alright, this is a much better hand. We're going to keep 6. We'll probably put Multitudes back, March of Multitudes back. So we'll play Goose turn 1, we'll play Clover turn 2. They're playing something, alright. We'll play Goose turn 1. We will... Actually, it depends if we draw land. We'll play Clover, if not, yeah. Okay, block. They'll gain their life, but it's fine. Because we didn't. So we will play... Yeah, we'll just shock this in. Play the Clover. Next turn, we're going to play Giant, get 2 more lands. And then probably be able to play another Giant if we get another land. Or we could play Wandermare. Or we could play any of these things. What am I saying? We're just gonna keep it loosey goosey, baby. Block here. Well, these guys are playing the I guess they're playing Abzan auras, but alright, so let's get our lands. Let's get a forest and plains. Yeah, forest and plains. And then we're going to, so they can hit us for 1, 2, 3 plus a bit more. All right, so we're just gonna play the innkeeper because we want to be able to continue to block. I guess we only would be soaking up like 1 damage. Yeah, whatever. Okay, another one of these. This is gonna be a bit of a pain. We'll just take 3. I don't want to lose our goose. I don't want our goose to be cooked, if you will. He's got puns. What does he think he is? He's got puns. Let's just get greedy. Let's just get greedy. It's not looking too great for us anyway. So we'll get another plains. Another forest. And actually, let's take a look. So we have 1, 2, there's like 7 lands left. Plus our dual lands and stuff. Okay. What do we need? I guess we'll just get a mountain, just so we have perfect mana. We'll play the mare. The mare can at least now block things. We're not going to be attacking anytime soon. And we can play our giants next turn, so now that'll actually be a... Well, I really wanted that. Jerk. Okay, well, maybe we aren't going to be doing those sort of things. We're definitely not going to be doing those sort of things. I'm just going to concede because it's not looking great for us. Okay, good hand. We're going to lead with Goose into Edgewall plus Bone Crush. Give him the crush. Okay. We're just going to play the keep. And we'll play another Goose. Just using up all those adventures. Get in for 1. Okay. Probably will Bone Crush if he puts anything out. Otherwise, I want to keep this just so we can play the Beast next turn. The Lovestruck Beast. Okay, Shock. Teferi. That's usually what these decks do on turn 3. Narset. Okay. So we will be Bone Crushing then. Yeah. Bone Crush. It's like Hulk Smash, but better. Okay. Get this thing out of here. Hit them. And I think we just want to make a food. Make a food. And next turn, we'll be able to Lovestruck Beast. If we draw land, we can Innkeep plus Lovestruck Beast. Alright, so what are they going to do? Bounce something? That seems incredibly rude. Okay, well. Ping here, ping here. still not drawing lands, which is annoying, so let's make another food token. Hopefully they don't have another Teferi. They always have another Teferi. Okay, that's fine. So, first, get this thing out of here. I don't want to play your games anymore. Second, play our Innkeep. Third, play our Lovestruck Beast. Draw a card. Nice. You know what we're going to do next turn? We're going to play our Innkeep, and we're going to play our Bone Crush, assuming we draw land, I guess. Okay, so they're technically Bant. What are they? Narset again? Dude, it's just, we're going to rock its world. Ominous Seas. Okay. Alright, so we will play another Innkeep. Stomp. This is giving me deja vu. Ping. Ping. Chomp. Quirion Dryad. When you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red, put a counter on it. Huh. Okay, so it's gonna get a 1-1. I'm gonna play the Skydiver. It's gonna get big. Play the Bone Crusher. Draw some cards. We'll get in there. If they want to trade, that's fine. If not, I'm gonna giant kill. Be great if I could Lucky Clover into Giant Killer and get both of these. I don't know if they're gonna proliferate or what, but oh yeah, there it is. Okay. They choose not to. Oh, whenever a land enters. Okay, so now they're proliferating. Does that give it lifelink? It does give it lifelink. Ooh, jerk. Okay, so what we're gonna do is pay 2. This costs 3. Alright. Play this. Play that. And then next turn, we are set up for the double giant killer. Oh, I guess. Oh, I can play the 1. Okay, that's what it's saying. Yes. I guess this will at least trade with something, so if they want them. Okay, that's fine. I will be blocking with the Goose also. That's annoying. Okay, so those are both going to get real big. And probably swing in. You getting in there? I guess I don't really need to. Combat damage to player. Yeah, we'll prevent them just drawing a card. That'll be fine. They'll gain 4. They'll go to 7. We'll kill their board, and they'll take probably enough. Yeah, it's not going to be too good for our opponent. So the question is, can I do 2 things? I guess technically I could. Well, let's start here. That'll do it. And we're back. It's been a few hours. I had to do some things, but editing, baby. Oh, great opening hand. Lead with the Innkeeper, then do a Bone Crush, then depending on how we're feeling, either ramp or just play out our giant proper. Okay. Sure. Okay. It's gonna get crushed. Cool. So they're playing black. Oh, alright, well. We'll take it. This hand is not gonna do it. This, we don't really want. Well. Okay. Alright, this hand is fine. This hand is fine. Lead with a Fairy Guide Mother. Oh, they're probably playing Cycling? Yep. A deck that we know very well over here. Yes, indeed. Alright, so we'll pop this and grab a Montaigne. Just in case. We'll play our other Fairy Guide Mother. And we'll crack in. Got the Stinger. Okay. Play this right here. We'll play, get another Plains. Might have a Fox, but I think what we're gonna do is just play the Killer. Yeah. I want to set up for actually a pretty big march. Another Draina Stinger? Alright, so this might get tense very quickly. Okay, lands. Let's do this. We'll get another lanes, I suppose. So many triggers. Yep. That's actually pretty nice because that'll be 6 1/1s. We can kill all their stuff and then also we'll gain 6. The thing is, if they have 5 cards to cycle, then we are in a problem. Okay, so they got the Fox, which is fine. Okay. Okay. Sir. 5, 6. Yeah, 6. Pay. Everybody. That's not good. Alright, well, we need to not die, so these are all going in. So, I mean, if they just have 4 cycles, we're dead. This one. Come on, buddy. Are you playing all lands? Oh, there's another cycle. Okay. Do you not have it? Come on, just put. There we go. There we go. Reasonable. We'll lead with getting a mountain, because even though we have white cards in our hand, we have this, which I want to play, and we're much more likely to draw Plains than a mountain. Okay, Pelt Collector. So we should be able to do this first, and then still be able to get one off here. Yeah. Boom. And then next turn, we can, I mean, hopefully they'll use this, so we can hit that plus the face again. Or maybe 2 creatures. 2 creatures would be sweet. Ooh. So this will get me 2 lands. Okay, yeah. Well, we'll do this. We'll get mountain, plains. Alright. No, not that. And we'll go boom. Boom. Get that out of here. Shout out to playing the new cards. That's a card that Chev is actually a pretty big fan of, but we don't really need it to be giving us any issues. So I think next turn is going to be Bone Crush plus ideally double Bone Crush. Or actually no, Wandermare into Bone Crush would be better, depending on what if we draw a land, that is. Oh, you jerk. You jerk. Oh man, we would have been able to kill it too. Play the Wandermare. But Robber of the Rich. They did actually. This can get bigger, so let's kill this. Let's get rid of that. Robber is just fine because we can block that for days. We can play the Clover, yeah. Play the Clover plus get rid of that. Oh, I should have. Ah, I messed that up. Whatever. That's fine. That's one of the biggest interactions and things you have to play around with this is that you are copying it whether you want to or not with the Lucky Clover. So, you know, you need to make sure that you have the targets because otherwise the copy will resolve first and then the original will go straight to the graveyard. Coming in hot with the big boys. Boom. All right, feeling pretty good. Next turn, you're gonna probably play the another Bone Crush plus a Goose. And there it is. What's good? All right, and that'll do it for today on the rocks. Honestly, I was underwhelmed with this deck. I have played test games with it. I've actually had this built for about a week now, and was playing test games, and it was performing a little better actually in the test games. That being said, it's still just a pretty medium deck. I think it's a fun deck. I think the mana base could be a little bit better. This is kind of a shambled together mana base. But it's a pretty fun deck, and it's always just fun to copy a lot of spells with Lucky Clovers and do that sort of thing. So, would recommend, especially if you just have these lying around. I mean, most of these are uncommons and stuff, except for the Bone Crush and the Lovestruck Beast. And you don't need to play much of the Multitudes. I just happen to like have some from opening packs. So, and that'll be it. Julian, signing out.